Hello everyone, welcome to PM Networking. Hope you all are doing great. Guys, today in this video, we are going to understand some basic approach to troubleshoot routing problems, like how to troubleshoot routing issues. So guys, as you can see, this is my scenario on your screen. In my scenario, there are two routers, R1 and R2. And I have two LAN, two local area networks. This is LAN 1 and this is LAN 2. LAN 1 is connected with router 1 and LAN 2 is connected with router number 2. Fine. Then in LAN 1 we have some AND devices. You can assume some PCs, some server, printer, like that. Okay. In the same way in LAN 2 also we have some AND devices. Fine. And you can see the IP configuration on R1 and R2. And here also you can see, guys, IP address is configured on routers as shown in the diagram. So that means on R1 fast Ethernet 0/0, I'm running this IP address 12.1.1.1/30. On fast Ethernet 0/0 of R2, I'm running this IP 12.1.1.2/30. That means subnet mask is going to be 255.255.255.252. Then on the LAN interface of R1, means on the interface which is connected with LAN 1, fast Ethernet 1/0. I am running what IP address? 10.1.1.1/24. Fine. So here subnet mask is 255.255.255.0. Fine. And guys, on LAN 2, which is connected with R2, I am running this IP address 20.1.1.1/24. Fine. So it is clear that in LAN 1, 10.1.1.0/24 network is running. In LAN 2, 20.1.1.0/24 network is running. Between router 1 and router 2, 12.1.1.0/30 network is running. Then guys, next thing is, you can see R1 is DHCP server for both LANs. Okay, so R1 router 1 is acting as DHCP server over here for both LAN, means for LAN 1 and LAN 2. Means R1 is responsible to provide IP addresses to AND devices in LAN 1 as well and in LAN 2 as well. Fine. Hope this is clear. Then third point is the routing protocol between R1 and R2 is OSPF. Okay. So as you know, we need one routing protocol between R1 and R2. Either we can configure a static route or we can configure any dynamic routing protocol to exchange route, because by default router 1 will have this 10 network information and 12 network information. In the same way router 2 will have 20 network and 12 network in their routing table, right? By default router 1 don't know anything about 20 network, guys. In the same way router 2 don't know anything about 10 network. Okay, so we need to exchange these route between R1 and R2. So we need a routing protocol over here, or we can configure a static route. So in my scenario, I am running which routing protocol? OSPF routing protocol. As I am going to troubleshoot routing issues, so that's why I am running a routing protocol. Okay. Now this is my scenario. Hope scenario is cleared. Okay. First of all, guys, we are going to assign IP addresses to this PC, right, and to this PC. And you can see the problem is what is the issue over here in this scenario. So here is issue, there is no connectivity between LAN 1 and LAN 2 after assigning IP addresses to AND devices. Okay, so when clients are getting IP addresses from the DHCP server, I think clients are able to get IP address from DHCP server, right? But problem is LAN 1 and LAN 2 both are not able to communicate with each other. LAN 1 user are able to communicate with each other but not able to communicate with any user in LAN 2. Okay, so without wasting our time, let's begin. Let's start the troubleshooting. And guys, before assigning the IP addresses on devices, let me tell you some approach, some step, like there should be definitely some step to troubleshoot routing issue. So whenever you will have routing problem in your network, what will be the step to troubleshoot it? First of all, should I check routing table? Should I check routing protocol? Should I check ACL? Should I check firewall configuration? What I should check first, right? So guys, whenever you are troubleshooting routing problem, that means if there is no reachability, like you have multiple tools, software to verify the issues, like you can use if I will talk about the tools, how many tools are there to verify the routing issue? So tools are, guys, first ping to verify the connectivity. First can be ping. We should check, we should ping the destination device, right? If ping is working, that means there is connectivity. So this is just a tool to diagnose, to find the problem, right? To verify the issue that really LAN 1 and LAN 2 are not able to communicate with each other. How to verify it? We can use this tool called ping. Second tool that you have is what? Trace route. You can use trace route. Trace route. My keyboard is not working fine. I have to change it. Then you have debug option, right? So these are the tool you can use to verify the problems. Now what problem? Let's say if you have pinged PC5 from PC1 and you are not getting reply. Okay, let's say PC1 IP address is 10.2 and PC5 IP address is 20.2. So if you are pinging 20.2 from PC1, if you are not getting reply, then how you will troubleshoot it? First of all, you should check the routing table of R1, or you should check the gateway IP address on PC1. What will be the first step? So guys, definitely first of all, you should check the configuration of your PC, right? Like IP address and subnet mask is correct or not, default gateway configuration is correct or not. So in my scenario, as you can see, clients are getting IP address from DHCP server, right? So there is very less chance to get wrong default gateway IP address, because if engineer have configured wrong default gateway on R1 in the DHCP configuration, guys, then definitely client will get wrong default gateway IP address. But as in my scenario there is DHCP server, there is less chance of getting wrong default gateway, right? But still, if you are not getting the reply of ping, you should check first default gateway IP address. Then see guys, routing problems can occur due to various reasons, right? There are many reasons, so we cannot discuss the all reasons, but let me discuss some common, right, reason. So common reason can be, first one can be connectivity issue. Yes, there is chance of connectivity issue. Connectivity issue means what? Connectivity issues means what? Means this can occur if there is problem with physical connection between devices, right? If there is some issue with physical connection between devices, let's say R1, guys, this is the topology in GNS3, but in real time you will have router 1 in the rack. So let's say R1 is here in this rack, right? On, let's say, first floor there is one router, this is router R1, and this switch is on ground floor, fine, and there is cabling, right, in the rack. So here you will have one port, here you will have one port, here you will have one port, right? And there will be direct connectivity, there will be one cable, right, between first floor to ground floor. So let's say if you are putting wrong interface on R1 or on switch 1, right, that can be the issue. Let's say you are designing the network, just a network engineer have designed this network, right, implemented this network in a building, right? So there are lots of cable between one floor, between first floor and ground floor. Let's say there are 5 cable, right? So you have to verify the cable very carefully, that you are putting correct cable on switch and router, right? Correct cable. Let's say cable number 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Like this. We have 4 cable. Cable number 1, this is cable number 1, right? So if you will put cable number 1 on router interface, and if you are putting cable number 2 on switch interface, right? That means, guys, what? That means there is some problem with physical cable, right? There is no physical connectivity between router 1 and switch 1. So that's why here labeling is important. On the cable in real time, most of the time you have seen labeling, right? Here on the cable you will add, label, right? Or you can mention here on this port that this port is connected with switch 1 on the ground floor, and on this interface you will put one label that this port is or this cable is connected with router 1 on first floor. Okay, so first of all you should verify the cabling, right? Physical connection, that physical connection must be there and it should be correct. Okay, so whenever you are troubleshooting routing issues, first of all you should check what, guys, there is chance of connectivity issue or there is chance of faulty cable. Let's say this cable is faulty, right? If this cable is not working fine, right, how to verify it? You can check the line protocol. Let's say on R1 line protocol of this interface is down, right? That means there is some issue with physical cable. There is some issue at optical layer, means at layer 1, right? So here you need to change the cable only, right? That is the only option. So how to verify it? Like on R1, simply you can run command show IP interface brief, and I want to filter the output, so I can say exclude unassigned, let's say, right? So you can see over here fast ethernet 0/0, fast ethernet 1/0, which is connected with switch 1, right? Line protocol of this interface is what? Up. This is protocol, this is line protocol. Line protocol is up. That means physical connectivity is fine between R1 and switch 1. Okay, and guys, under the connectivity issue you should also check interface configuration. If interface configuration is not correct, then also that problem also comes under connectivity issue. That means what? Connectivity issue means what? There is some problem between two devices, right? Like between switch 1 and R1, or it can be between R1 and R2, or it can be between R2 and switch 2, right? So if there is connectivity issue between two devices, first of all you should verify this, right? That physical connectivity and interface configurations are correct or not, right? Then next step, if interface configuration and cable is correct, then you should check what? Then you should check routing table. Definitely yes, routing table. You have already verified the PC configuration, right? You have verified the physical connectivity and interface configuration. Now you should verify the routing table, like routing table of R1 and R2, right? So as I told you, R1 should have 20 network in their routing table and R2 should have 10 network in their routing table. So here you should verify the routing table that both router have route or not. Okay, and one more thing over here, let me first write what you should check in second step. By the way, this is third step because first step is verifying the PC configuration, then physical cable and interface configuration. After that, routing table issue. Routing table issue. Routing table issue. What problems comes under routing table issues? Okay, so routing table issue means this can occur if there is an incorrect route in the routing table, right? Incorrect route. So let's say if you are checking the routing table of R1 and you have one route. Route is like this: 20.1.0.0/24. So tell me, if PC1 will ping to PC5 means to 20.2, 20.10.1. If 10.1 is pinging to 20.1, and guys, in the routing table of R1 there is one route, this route 20.1.0.0/24. Will router 1 forward traffic to router number 2, and this route is reachable via R2. This route is reachable via R2. So you tell me, will R1 forward packet to R2? Because here when PC1 will ping to PC5, source IP address is going to be 10.1, destination IP address is going to be what, 20.2, 2, right? PC1 will forward this packet to their default gateway, means to router number 1. Router 1 is going to verify their routing table. In their routing table there is one route, but is destination matching, guys? No, right? So this is incorrect route. This is incorrect route. So you should verify the routing table. In the routing table, route should be correct. Route should be correct. Or routing table, maybe routing table is not updated, right? Routing table is not updated, so you should check routing table. In the second step, if physical connectivity is fine and interfaces configuration are correct, then in third step, what you are going to troubleshoot? Now you are going to troubleshoot routing protocol issue. Routing protocol issues. Routing protocol issues means what? This can occur if there is problem with routing protocol itself. Let's say you are running OSPF routing protocol between R1 and R2. Let's say OSPF routing protocol configuration is incorrect, or OSPF is not working fine between R1 and R2. Then also there will be no reachability between LAN 1 and LAN 2. So now you need to troubleshoot routing protocol, right? This can occur if there is problem with routing protocol itself, such as misconfiguration of routing protocol, or it can be because of bugs, right? And if routing protocol is also working fine, let's say you have verified OSPF configuration on R1 and R2, and on both router, guys, OSPF is fine, then still if there is no reachability between LAN 1 and LAN 2, then what you should check? Then in the fourth step, you should check what? Firewall configuration. Firewall configuration. Or in my scenario, I don't have any firewall, so I should check what? ACL configuration. Any filtering. Okay, so firewall or ACL, this can occur if there is a firewall or ACL that is blocking the traffic. Maybe access control list is blocking, let's say 10 network on router number 2 or 20 network on router number 1, right? Yes, that can be possibility, because in the real time, when you will implement this network in a building, you are going to configure ACL also over here. You are going to configure OSPF also over here. You are going to configure IP addresses also over here, right? You are going to connect these devices together as well. So guys, these are some basic steps to troubleshoot routing issues. If like let's say there is no any physical issue, or there is no any misconfiguration on interfaces, or routing table issue is there is no any issue with routing table is also fine, there are correct route, right? Routing protocol is also working fine, ACL is also not filtering the correct route, then there should be reachability, and there will be reachability, guys, right? Because these are only basic troubleshooting of routing issue. Fine. So let me do one thing. Let me assign the IP address on PC1, PC2, PC3, PC4, and 5, 6, 7, 8, and let me check. First of all, I am going to verify the issue with the help of what? With the help of these tools. Like I can use ping, I can use traceroute, I can use debug, right? And then if yes, really there is issue, if yes, LAN 1 is not able to ping LAN 2, there is no reachability, then I am going to troubleshoot this network. Let me show you the configuration, guys. Here I have access of all devices. Here you can see PC1. First of all, I am going to assign IP address on PC1 through DHCP server. So let me run command IP DHCP, and let me check this PC is able to get IP address from DHCP server or not. So yes, you can see PC1 got one IP address, that is 10.1.1.2/24, and gateway IP address is 10.1.1.1. correct, right? This is the correct gateway IP address which I am running on router number 1. Fine. Then on PC number 2, IP DHCP. On PC number 3, IP DHCP. On PC number 4, IP DHCP, right? Then guys, on PC number 5, Let me check PC2 have got the IP address or not. Yes, PC2 have got the IP address 10.3. PC3 have got the IP address 10.4. PC4 have got the IP address 10.5, and PC5 IP DSCP. Let me hit enter. Dora, no. PC5 is not able to take IP address from DSCP server. Now what is the issue over here? Let me check on R1 DSCP configuration, guys. So IP DSCP, let me say pool. So here on router number 1 we have two pool. One is with name what sales, and one is with name what HR. Fine. Pool 1, pool 2 you can say, or pool sale. This is for sale, this is for HR, right? Or you can say for LAN 1, for LAN 2, this is for LAN 2. So let me do one thing, guys. For LAN 2 you can see DSCP server is in different network, right? So whenever DSCP server is in different network, we need to configure helper address on router number 2. So let me check helper address is configured on router number 2 or not. I think helper address is not configured. This is the reason why PC5 is not able to get IP address from DSCP server, because pool configuration is fine. You can see over here, right? Pool configuration is fine on router number 1. So let me do one thing on router number 2. So run interface f1/0. So helper address should be configured on this interface on fast Ethernet 1/0. So let me check the running configuration of this interface. You can see the running configuration is 111 bytes, and there is no helper address, right? This is IP configuration, this is OSPF configuration, right? That's it. So let me do one thing on fast Ethernet 1/0, say IP helper address. Helper address is going to be 10.1.1.1 DSCP server IP address. You can say 12.1.1.1 also, not a problem. Now let me try to configure IP on PC5 from DSCP, say IP DSCP. Still DSCP is not working. Let me try from PC number 6. IP DSCP. Okay, you can see PC5. This PC means PCs or end devices in LAN 2 are not able to get IP address from R1, right? From the DSCP server. So we will verify it later. Now because DSCP pool configuration is correct on router number 1, right? Simply you can run this command also. So run section DHCP. It will show you all commands. So IP DSCP exclude address, that is fine. IP DSCP pool sales network 10.1.1.0 submit mask, this one default router, okay. DNS fine. IP DSCP pool HR network 20.1.1.0 submit mask, okay. Default gateway correct, right? Pool configuration is correct, right? I have configured the helper address as well on router number 2, but still these users are not able to get IP address. Then what can be the reason? Then guys, definitely there is no reachability between R1 and R2. There is no reachability between R1 and R2. So what you can do? Again, you should use what? These tool, ping, troubleshoot or debug from R1 or from R2. From R2, this IP address, this helper IP address means 10.1 should be reachable, right? From R2, 10.1 should be reachable. So let me do one thing. From on the router number 2, I'm going to ping the helper address. So run. Let me verify the helper address once again. So run interface f1/0. Yes, helper address is correct. You can see IP helper address 10.1.1.1. Let me ping this IP address, ping 10.1.1.1. Oops. ping is not working. You can see helper address is not reachable from router number 2. So problem is clear. Now I am going to ping R2. See, if I am not able to ping the helper address from router number 2, what should be the next step? Next step is I should ping this IP address. I should ping R1, that R1 is reachable from me or not. Okay, so let me do one thing. From router number 2, let me ping 12.1.1.1. You can see I am not able to ping 12.1.1.1. Okay, so if there is no reachability between R1 and R2, I'm going to follow this step, right? First, connectivity issues means physical connectivity, means cabling issue, and then interfaces issue, right? Interfaces configuration issue. So I'm going to verify the interface configuration, right, on both router. Here on R1 I am going to verify fast Ethernet 0/0 configuration, and on R2 I am going to verify fast Ethernet 0/0 interface configuration. Let me do one thing. On R1 I am going to check show run interface F0/0. It will show me the running configuration, right? Like here subnet mask should be correct. So here you can see guys, IP address on this interface is 12.1.1.1, correct? Subnet mask 255.255.252. I'm using /30 because I need only 2 IP addresses between R1 and R2, right? So subnet mask is correct. We have one access control list over here. IP access list 10 direction in. Okay, maybe this access control list is blocking the traffic, but before that let me verify the interface configuration of R2. Let me take you to R2. So run interface F0/0. So on this interface also you can see IP configuration, IP 12.1.1.2 IP is correct. Subnet mask 255.255.255.254. No, subnet mask is incorrect over here. So this is interface configuration, misconfiguration of interface, right guys? This is incorrect configuration on fast Ethernet 0/0 of R2, right? So this problem comes under connectivity issue, right? Means there is no connectivity between two devices. So let me correct it. Go to config t, then interface F0/0, say IP address 12.1.1.2 255.255.255.252. Submit mask should be 252, and now I'm going to ping 12.1.1.1 again. Yes, still I am not able to ping 12.1.1.1, right? Now this time I will not check the routing protocol issue. Definitely I should check routing table, because in the routing table of both router 12 network should be there, right? And 12 network is directly connected, so definitely there will be 12 network. So IP route, you can see 12 network is there, right? On router number 2 also, so IP route 12 network is there, right? But still if I am not able to ping, still there is no connectivity between R1 and R2. From R1 also, if I am going to ping 12.1.1.2, see, ping is not working. So this is not problem of routing protocol. Here I am not going to verify the routing protocol. Even this is not problem of routing table. Routing table also looks like fine, but this can be problem because of access control list ACL, right? Because as you can see over here on interface fast Ethernet 0/0 of R1, ACL is applied, right? ACL is applied over here, access list 10. So let me check access control list 10 IP. So IP or access list, let's say. So yes guys, you can see access list configuration over here. We have one access list number 10, that means standard ACL, and first we are denying everything. After that we are permitting what, 20 network, right? So when router 2 will ping router 1, source IP address is going to be 12.2, destination IP address is going to be what, 12.1, right? But on this interface ACL is applied, and that ACL is denying everything with sequence number what, 10. So router 1 will check this statement first and it will deny all the traffic. So this is wrong configuration of ACL, right? We need to correct it. Okay, so on router number 1, what we can do, say access list standard, sorry, access list, and here we can say number standard or extended. So number is 10, and then I am going to remove deny which network 0.0.0 I am going to remove this command, right? Or simply you can verify the command under access control list by running command do so run section, let's say access list. It will show me the all commands under access list. So I'm going to remove this command, right? Say no. Fine. Then guys, first of all, what command I need to run? Now if you will check access list, so IP access list, you can see we don't have any statement over here, right? So let me configure the statement. Access list number 10 permit 20.1.1.0 and I need to deny 0.0.0 Now router 2 cannot ping to router number 1. Router 2 cannot ping to router number 1. Now we have OSPF neighborship flapping. Here you can see it. After applying the correct ACL, OSPF neighborship started flapping. That means, you know what? That means on router number 2 as well, guys, there is misconfiguration of ACL. Let me show you on R1. So IP access list. You can see with sequence number 20 we are denying over here. With sequence number 10 we are permitting 10 network. Okay, this is correct. So run interface F0/0. ACL is applied over here or not? So yes, ACL is applied in direction. Then why we don't have OSPF neighborship? So IP OSPF neighbor. This is what routing protocol troubleshooting. And still you can see ping 12.1.1.1. Still I am not able to ping R1 because we are not allowing 12.1.1.1 on fast Ethernet 0/0 of R1, right? Router 1 will deny the packet. But will router 5 get IP address from DHCP server now? No. Because still helper address is what? 10.1 and 10.1 is not reachable from router number 2. Why? Because routing protocol is not working fine. So this time you are going to troubleshoot routing protocol. But why your routing protocol is not working between R1 and R2? How to verify it? Simply first command is you can run show IP protocol. So under show IP routing protocol you can see routing protocol is running. Which routing protocol is running, guys? OSPF process 1. Router ID is 1.1.1 over maximum path leap. OSPF is enabled on these two interface, on fast Ethernet 0/0 as well as on fast Ethernet 1/0, right? So OSPF configuration on router number 1 is correct. So run. And one more thing. So run. One more thing here you can check, like you should check configuration, means routing protocol configuration like this. On router number 1 also run show IP protocol command, and on router number 2 also let me run show IP protocol command. Show IP protocol command. See, between R1 and R2, guys, OSPF network type should be what? Point to point? Yes, point to point is fine. So network type should be match, correct? Network type should be match. So here you can check the router ID on router number 1 and router number 2 both are unique or not. So yes, router ID on router number 2 is 2.2.2, router ID on router number 1 is 1.1.1. This configuration is also fine. OSPF is enabled on both interfaces or not? Yes, OSPF is enabled on both interfaces of both routers, correct, right? Distance is fine. Then why we don't have neighborship? So what you can do, you can check router 1 is sending hello message or not. Debug IP OSPF hello. Yes, it is sending hello message from R1 is sending hello message from this interface from 10.1.1.1 as well as from 12.1.1.1 from both interface, right? But R1 should not send hello message from fast Ethernet 1/0, so you can configure this interface as passive interface. Router 1 is sending hello message, there is no problem, and router 2 debug IP OSPF hello. I think router 2 is also sending hello message. Yes, router 2 is also sending hello message. And guys, to form neighborship between R1 and R2, there is some criteria, right? There's some parameter. That parameter should be matched. Like router ID should be unique. Hello time, date type should be matched. Network type should be matched. So you need to check those information, right? If there is no neighborship. So let me disable the debugging, say unall. On router number 2 also say unall. Right, I have disabled the debugging, guys, on both router, and this time there is no neighborship between R1 and R2. So R1 fast Ethernet 0/0 is connected with R2. So I'm going to check the detailed OSPF configuration on this interface on fast Ethernet 0/0 interface, right? So first command that I can run over here is show IP OSPF interface brief. This is not to check the detailed information, but this command is going to give you some basic information about OSPF configuration on interfaces. So you can see on fast Ethernet 0/0 OSPF process ID is 1, area is 0. So as I told you, area should be also match, right? So in the same way on router number 2 also area should be what, 0. So IP OSPF interface brief. So yes, you can see this interface R2 fast Ethernet 0/0 is also in area 0. Then guys, next thing, IP address and subnet mask we have already verified. This is the correct. Then cost and state means network type. Network type over here is point to point. On R2 network type is here network type is broadcast. Network type is broadcast on router number 2. So I have to change network type on router number 2. Interface F0/0, say IP OSPF network point to point. So IP OSPF interface brief. Now you can see here also network type is point to point. Now network type is also fine, right? Area is also fine, guys. Router ID is also unique. Now next thing is hello time and date time. That should be same. Should check the detailed information, detailed OSPF configuration on this interface. How to check it? Like what is the hello time and date time? So IP OSPF interface F0/0 0. Here you can see the hello time. Hello time over here is date time, right? So on router number 1 also hello time and date time should be same. So IP OSPF interface F0/0. Here also hello time is, here hello time is what, 4 second. Date time, fourth time of hello time, right? 16 seconds. So here we need to change the hello time, right? On router number 1. So again go to config T, interface F0/0, say IP OSPF hello 10, right? Now so IP OSPF, so IP OSPF interface F0/0, you can see hello time is now 10 second and date time is automatically set to 40 second, right? But still we don't have neighborship. Fine. Why, guys? Because on router number 1 we are not allowing 12.1.1.2, and on router number 1 we are not allowing 12.1.1.1. But whenever router 1 will send hello message to router number 2, source IP address is going to be what, 12.1.1.1. When router 2 will send hello message or any message of OSPF to router number 1, source IP address is going to be what, 12.1.1.2, right? So in the access control list we need to allow this IP address, right? 12 network on both router. So on R1 what we can do, we can say access list number 10 permit which network 12.1.1. You can permit this IP address as well, guys, right? On router number 2, access list number 10 permit 12.1.1.1. Will OSPF, OSPF neighborship is up. Now guys, I am going to assign IP address on PC5 from DSCP server. Let me say IP DSCP, and this time I am expecting this PC will get IP address from DSCP server, but still this router is not getting IP address. Now what is the issue? On router number 1, so IP route OSPF. Yes, we have route. We have route on router number 2. So IP route OSPF. On router number 2, we don't have 10 network. Why? So IP OSPF database. LSA 1 of router 1 here, right? So IP OSPF neighbor. Now we have OSPF neighborship, but so IP OSPF database. We don't have LSA 1 of router 1. In the same way on router number 1, so IP OSPF database. On router number 1, we have LSA 1 of router 1 as well and router 2 as well. So what is the issue? So IP access list 12.2. okay, we are allowing 20 network over here, correct, on router number 2. So IP access list okay, everything is fine till now. So IP OSPF neighborship is also fine. Then why we don't have a router 1 LSA? So IP OSPF database network type is same or not? So IP OSPF interface brief, here network type is point to point on fast Ethernet 0/0, correct? So IP OSPF interface brief, here also network type is point to point. Everything is correct here. I think it is happening just because of access control list. Let me do one thing. From fast Ethernet 0/0, I am going to remove no IP access group 10. Okay, direction in. On router number 2 also, let me remove the ACL interface F0/0, say no IP access group number 10 direction in. And so IP OSPF database, still I don't have router LSA of R1. Ping 12.1.1.1. Yes, I am able to ping 10.1.1.1. No, this ping will not work because I don't have 10 network. On router number 1, so IP OSPF database, clear IP OSPF process. Let me clear it. And so IP OSPF neighbor, again we have neighborship, so IP OSPF database, still we have LSA1 of router 2 only. Now why router 2 is not getting LSA1 of router 1? Even router 2 is sending their LSA. So run interface F0/0 and on router number 1, so run interface F0/0. Let me verify the configuration on these two interface point to point. Okay, 12.2 252, submit mask is also correct, network type point to point, area 1, everything is fine. Then guys, this is problem of GNS3, so IP OSPF database on router number 2, so IP OSPF database, this router is not getting LSA1. Let me write the configuration and reload the device. Turn it off, and let me turn it on again. Yeah, so router is rebooted. Let me check again. So IP OSPF database, and this time you can see, so this was just a problem of GNS3 on router number 1 also. So IP OSPF database, we have LSA1 of both router here and on router number 2 also, right? Now guys, from PC number 5, let me first assign IP address on PC5. Yes, now you can see DORA process is working fine and PC5 have got the IP address 20.3. On PC number 6, IP DSCP, we will also get IP DSCP. PC number 8, IP DSCP, right? So PC5 got the IP address, PC6 have also got the IP address 20.4, PC7 also got the IP address, and PC8 also got the IP address. Right, now everything is fine. Now let me verify the end-to-end connectivity. From PC number 1, I am going to ping PC5, let's say. So PC5 IP address is 20.3. So let me take you to PC1 and ping 20.1.1.3. Yes, you can see ping is working. Ping is now working. So this was just a small troubleshooting, like basic troubleshooting of routing issues, routing problems. Okay, hope this video is helpful for you guys. If yes, if you have learned something from this video, please hit on like button. If you have not subscribed this channel, please subscribe this channel. We will meet soon in next video. Till then, stay safe guys. Bye bye. That's all for today. Thanks for watching.